here. How you doing? Today I'm going to be installing a Air-Raid MXP cold air intake on a 2006 Nissan Titan. The procedure will be the same from 2004 to 2015. So let me show you what you need to replace it. To replace this intake and install the new one are some cutters to cut the weather stripping. Came a little long. A 4mm Allen 3/8 extension, 3/8 ratchet, 10mm socket, and a 8mm or 5/16 socket. You could probably use a screwdriver. I use this for the hose clamps. What you're going to want to do is make sure that everything is included within the package. Go ahead, take everything out, lay them down, look at the instructions, and the instructions tell you everything that you will need and everything that should be in the box. So go ahead and verify that everything is in the box. States that we need to disconnect our negative battery terminal. Depending if your terminals are aftermarket or not, you should need a 10mm wrench. This is actually a 12, but I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Go ahead and remove your engine cover. When I bought this truck, it didn't come with one, so I'm going to skip that step. Go ahead and take off the connector to your mass airflow sensor. Simply push down and pull away, just like that. Be careful. Then take some pliers and pinch the tabs on this connector. I actually might be able to do it just in my hands. Nope, I don't want to break it. Go ahead and pinch that, and that'll remove the wiring harness from the top lid. We can remove our old filter, then get some pliers and go ahead and remove these clamps. Might be easier if you get some WD-40 to spray on here so they can slide a little bit. Go ahead. Those hoses are disconnected. Your old intake tube is free to come off. Next, you're going to take your 10mm wrench and you're going to remove 3 bolts. One right here, one back here, and one down here. Now that our old intake is out of the truck, we can start prepping our new intake to be installed. First thing we're going to do is take our filter adapter and bolt it to the inside of our air box using our 4mm Allen wrench or socket. I like these sockets. They work a little bit quicker. You can generally get a little more torque on them too. So go ahead and install your 3 bolts to your filter. Requiring us to take off these grommets that hold in the old air box. This kit does require us to use some of the old pieces, which is fine. Go ahead and remove all 3 grommets. There's one here, one there, and looks like I got the new grommets installed. One little side note, these are kind of tough. I don't know if it's because I live in Arizona and the truck's an Arizona truck, but the rubber was really tough on here, so go ahead and get yourself some WD-40 and that help you install all 3 grommets into the plastic. The very next step requires us to install this box using the original mounting locations and go ahead and torque those bolts down pretty good. Alright, next step is go ahead and mount the large connector onto your air box and tighten down the hose clamp. This particular kit requires us to use this connector to put both of our PVC pipes or PVC hoses together. So go ahead and do that. These hoses will be a little bit hard. I don't know why, but every time I mess with the Titan, these hoses are really brittle. So go ahead and get yourself either a heat gun or some WD-40 to slip these in. Now, Air-Raid's nice enough to give us these little cheesy plastic clamps to hook on your new hose. This will adapt to our new intake tube. So at this time, we're going to actually prep the tube for installation. What we're going to need to do is put this threaded nipple into the tube and put our new adapter on. This is a fairly large intake tube, so you'll have to use this reducer to hook that up to your throttle body. For installation is swapping our mass airflow sensor to our new air box or air tube. The kit comes with new hardware. Looks like they're different screws, but go ahead and remove the screws here and make sure that mass airflow sensor goes in the very same way that it came out of the old tube. You're going to have some really bad issues, and you're going to know it if you install this sensor the incorrect way. Alright, now once we got our intake tube in and our filter on, basically just a couple more steps before we fire it up. Go ahead, don't forget to plug in your mass airflow sensor. Where'd that thing go? There it is. Go ahead and make sure it's plugged in. listen for the snap, and then take your little grommet and put it down here just so the wiring's kept out of the way. After that, throw on your little weather strip seal that'll seal against the hood, keep the hot air out. Mine came about 2 inches longer than it needed to be, so I had to make a cut. If you live in California, this kit does come with an emissions exemption sticker. Go ahead and throw that on your airbox or underneath your hood, just because I know they do give you trouble for having an intake in California, but this is CARB legal, so that's definitely a must. After that, make sure all your hose clamps are nice and tight. You don't want anything coming loose, give you any problems, and throw on your PCV hose to your intake tube. Make sure that's on there good, and that's about it. Go ahead and secure your negatives hose clamp and fire it on up. Now, one thing I do like to do, and I'll go over this, is once the vehicle is up to operating temperature, I do like to clear the learned fuel settings. These Nissan ECUs are very particular. If you do make any changes to the intake, exhaust, or fuel system, Nissan does recommend that you clear your learned fuel settings, and I'll show you how to do that right now. The last step I forgot is the new intake kit comes with an adapter bracket to have your engine cover still fit, just because the tube is so large. Go ahead and install that. I'm not going to because I don't have an engine cover. To clear the self-learn mixture is as follows. Let your engine idle and get it to normal operating temp. You can see right here on our gauge it is. Next thing you're going to do is turn the ignition off. Pop your hood and unplug your mass airflow sensor. The engine off. We're going to go ahead and unplug the mass airflow sensor and make sure the connector doesn't run into anything. Kind of just tuck it away and get it out of the way. Next item on the list is to run the engine and let it idle for at least 5 seconds and confirm the engine light does come on. Here we go. There it is. Go ahead and shut off the engine. And now we're going to plug in our mass airflow sensor. Now that we have initiated that code, plug it back in, listen for the click, and now we're going to go and delete any codes inside the memory of the cleared the codes. We're going to start the engine, let it idle for about 5 minutes, and that is the procedure. Hope this video helped. Please like and subscribe. Any questions, feel free. Also, let me know what intake you're running. Let me know what you guys think of the air raid if you do have it, and I'd like to see what you guys are running out there. Have a good one.